A player by the name of Pedo was building at his clan's base. Suddenly, another member showed up and killed him on the spot. All of Pedo's items were lost and his chests were looted. When he went to the clan management, they refused to punish the attacking player as he was a senior member and there was little evidence. Feeling betrayed, Pedo decided to leave this clan and would start one of his own with his friends. What nobody realized is that this event would lead 6v6t into a server-wide war. The official 6v6t channel starts posting shorts about the server, trying to publicize its history. In one of these shorts, they single out a specific clan and name it the most hated clan on the server. That clan was named Tesseract. The short tries to capture some of the history, but it only shows the perspective of Tesseract's rivals. I was able to get in contact with the leader of Tesseract, who gave a conflicting account to what information I was able to find publicly. So, over the past month, I've been gathering all that I can, gaining access to archived Discord servers and finding unlisted videos. This search had me speak with many different players, some who are current clan members and others who are current rivals. I've put together a proper timeline through all the conflicting accounts, and that's what this video is. Today, we're going to look at the history of Tesseract, why it burned down, and the clan that rose from its ashes, the Saviors. Pedo joined 6v6t back in 2024, and after getting bored of playing alone, he joined a major clan on the server named the Imperials. Pedo would spend most of his time building at their bases and working on different projects. However, while building at the main base, another member of the Imperials turned on Pedo and killed him. Pedo did have a few private chests, and they were all emptied. Pedo informed the leaders of the Imperials, who mostly ignored him, saying that the assaulting player was a more senior member. Betrayed, Pedo decided to leave and start his own clan with other players that he was close to. He would use his personal base as the headquarters, and after inviting the players Crack, Data Drop, and Piercing Curve to join him, they decided on the name New Revolution. After a few days of building together, Data Drop and Piercing Curve had an internal disagreement, causing Piercing to disconnect. The other members of New Revolution were concerned that Piercing was going to leak the cords to the base, and the members decided to self-grief. After the fall of this base, Polly decided to create a new clan and would ally it with New Revolution. This clan would be known as Tesseract, and Pedo and Data would eventually join it, disbanding New Revolution. The first project for Tesseract was a giant base named the Cube. It was designed to abuse a chunk dupe at the time, allowing Tesseract to quickly gain thousands of items. Around this period, Tesseract decided to start spamming the chat so they could amass more Discord members. As more and more players joined, Polly started to get more stressed due to real-life commitments and said he was ready to quit 6v6t among other threats. The leaders of Tesseract decided to transfer ownership of the Discord server to Pedo to prevent possible leaks. Polly would leave the server for 1 week before coming back, apologizing, and asking to be the owner again. Pedo and Data discussed it, but out of fear of another outburst, they decided to keep Pedo as the leader. Polly didn't like this and ended up leaking the cords of some of their bases to another player named Scar. Pedo and Data found out about the leak and ended up self-griefing one of their bases, while Scar griefed a recruit base. What Polly didn't know was that during the week he was gone, Pedo and Data had already started a new location with a new stash. Tesseract continued to spam chat and recruit new players, two of which were Kepris Nexus and Lardsonian. Both Kepris and Lard were hard workers, regularly contributing to bases and projects, and Kepris even had base coordinates which he gave to the clan so they could grief. At this point, Tesseract was a full clan with recruits, trusted members, and leaders, but they soon ran into their first major grief. You see, Tesseract was not just spamming chat trying to recruit new members, but they were actively declaring that they were the top clan at the time, a statement that many established clans took issue with. These players found Tesseract to be annoying and were bothered that so many clans seemed to form and immediately claim to own the server. One of these players, Scar, who had been attacking Tesseract numerous times now, managed to get an alternate account very similar to Pato's with just one character off, and requested to teleport to a member who was at the main base. This allowed him to get the cords of one of Tesseract's largest bases and would end up destroying the whole thing. Another player, Advic, who is the leader of the 555, ended up inciting Tesseract to get coordinates of many of their bases. But he wasn't the only one, as there was another player who had switched sides and was now working against his own clan. Lardsonian had worked his way up to leader status, but he was starting to have a few issues with how the clan was running. Some of Tesseract's members were making controversial comments, and Lard took personal issue with them. Lard ended up being convinced by Scar to act as an insider for his last few weeks on the server, and ended up leaking the cords to the main base and the tower, leading to the full destruction of all Tesseract bases over the course of a month. Advic was accused of being an insider, but he was able to talk his way out of full suspicion before leaking even more bases, and ended up exporting many of the Discord chats from Tesseract. At this time, a player named Jacob242 had tricked Pato, saying that if Scar was given moderator of the Discord, then none of Tesseract's bases would be griefed further. Pato did end up giving the moderator role to Scar, hoping to salvage what was left, but 10 minutes after the promotion, Tesseract's Discord was nuked and eventually deleted. It was around this time that Kepris Nexus started to come under fire for comments he had made when he first joined the server. Scar found out about these comments and ended up exposing Kepris for what he had said. I won't go into too much detail, but Kepris had made some comments that made other players very uncomfortable. Other members of Tesseract quickly became aware of what Kepris had said, and many were ready to leave because of it. Kepris tried to defend himself, but the accusations were clear. We would later find out that Kepris' actions were part of the reason Lardsonian turned against Tesseract in the first place, as Lard found out about them before they were fully revealed. Pato, trying to keep peace in his clan, did not end up punishing Kepris for his comments, but did make it clear that if he said anything out of line again, he would be kicked. This was a risky time for Tesseract, as Kepris was a leader in the clan and had access to all of their bases and stashes. This also marked the time that Polly officially left Tesseract due to inactivity and wanting to get away from the drama. Due to the refusal to punish Kepris, as well as being fed up with Tesseract's constant spamming of chat, the clans 555 and 104 essentially declared war against Tesseract, going after many of their most prominent bases. Tesseract tried to strike back, forming a subgroup called CDC, one whose goal was to grief the spawn logos of the 555. Unfortunately for Tesseract, Project 104 had discovered the EMP exploit, which allowed for them to cause immense lag and leave the spawn area unplayable. Using the exploit as defense, 104 and 555 were able to defend against CDC's grief and kept their logos intact. After the unsuccessful logo grief, the subgroup CDC was disbanded, and Tesseract decided to rebrand themselves under a new name, Eclipse. There are claims that the rebrand had to happen when Datadrop got his PC ratted, but I have not been able to confirm this. The war between the clans continued, with both sides attacking each other across multiple griefing videos. The 104 destroyed Eclipse's end base, so Eclipse destroyed a 555 base, only for the 555 to attack Eclipse again, and back and forth like this for months. This server-wide civil war continued, but Eclipse was caught in a 2v1 fight. The only advantage they had was that during this entire time they would still constantly spam chat and recruit new members. After the main Eclipse base was leaked and grief, they again decided to rebrand back to Tesseract. Eventually, Project 104 managed to get access to the account of Kepris Nexus. Now, they were able to get the cords of all of Tesseract's bases and dealt a massive blow to many stashes with thousands of items and multiple mega builds. This culminated in the nuke and the deletion of the Tesseract Discord for the second time. The clan was completely obliterated, and some consider this to be the end of the Civil War, with an overwhelming victory for 104 and 555, and it was the end of Tesseract. It was a rough time for Pato, as his clan was completely gone. Instead of rebranding, he decided to completely restart. On October 31st, 2024, Pato changed his Minecraft username to Iced Cave and created a completely new clan with new structure and new bases, the Saviors. The clan was created just in time for the third incursion, as many Turkish players started to join the server. The Saviors wanted to take advantage of this, and again started constantly spamming chat for their recruits. While the Saviors and Iced wanted a fresh start, their continued spamming of chat, assertion of dominance, and old rivalries meant that they were still a target for 104 and 555. On December 18th, 104 yet again griefed multiple Saviors bases, including a Christmas base the Saviors had built for a build competition. The Saviors again retaliated, attacking multiple 555 bases. At this point, I was starting to wonder why anybody is still joining these clans that are actively in a war, especially when Saviors are frequently seeming to lose. The important thing to remember is that they have never publicly acknowledged a loss. They continued to say that they are the top clan, constantly spam chat and recruit new players into their war. No matter how many times they were destroyed, the Saviors would overlook it and continue to build and say that everything was fine. Obviously, this was frustrating to the Saviors' rivals, but the war was finally coming to its end, with events culminating on March 8th, 2025. 1 week prior to March 8th, Iced decided to take a break from 6b6t to focus on his real life, and temporarily gave ownership of the Saviors to another player, Aitana. When Aitana first took over, she hoped to make things different. At this point, Saviors already had a pretty bad reputation, and she wanted to fix it by focusing on the less toxic side of the clan. When Advic and Scar found out about the leadership change, they felt obligated to inform Aitana of some of the darker things the Saviors were doing behind the scenes. Advic privately messaged Aitana, informing her that some of the Saviors' behavior was extremely dark, even for an Anarchy server, and that leadership had actively tried to protect people who had said and done some horrible things behind the scenes, such as doxing and worse. I won't get into too much detail again, but to put it shortly, a high-ranking player in the Saviors was known as an extorter. He would get personal information about some of the players, such as their address or family members, and threaten to dox them if the players didn't comply with his demands. Now, Aitana already wasn't too keen to lead a clan with a reputation like this, and she had seen some of the things that Iced and other leaders were doing, so this reveal was the nail in the coffin. On March 8th, 2025, Aitana decided to end the Saviors once and for all. While some players report it was peer pressure from Advic and Scar, Aitana assured me it was much more than that. Aitana made the private Discord public, and 104 nuked the Savior's main Discord, causing it to be deleted for the third time. This was followed by leaking every single Savior's base in existence. The combined effort of 555 and 104 was too much, and the Saviors crumbled. Iced eventually came back, this time with only one thing on his mind: revenge. Over the next 2 months, Iced and the Saviors who stayed loyal would teleport to the bases of any members who had ever betrayed their clan, including Thane, Armorship, 47, Vertrica, and Pulsar. The Saviors suspected that Aitana was helping a clan named Blackout at the time, causing them to destroy one of their major builds, despite Aitana not contributing at all. This rampage continued, and over the course of 2 months, 20 clan bases and 50 random bases were destroyed by the Saviors, fighting hard to reclaim their spot as a top clan. During the 2 months of griefing, supposedly the 104 lost some of their main bases, but this has not been acknowledged. Iced admitted to me that during this time, the only reason he was even playing Minecraft was to get revenge. When I asked Ice if the war would continue, he told me no. He and the rest of the Saviors are focused on building and their own projects, but are not actively looking to attack other clans or restart rivalries. Iced and Advic both agreed the war is essentially over between the Saviors and 555. However, Iced still suspects the 104 are going to try and provoke them. You might be wondering why this video is titled "The Most Hated Clan on the Server." The reason is, the official 6b6t channel uploaded a short where they gave that title to Tesseract. It's unclear why, but that short has since been deleted from the 6b6t channel. Maybe they realized it was biased, or did someone from the Saviors say something? Whatever the reason, we may never know. Today, the Saviors remain as one of the most popular clans on the server, but it wasn't without a hard road of griefs, war, and controversy. Iced also told me that he only considers 2 canonical rebrands, when Tesseract was renamed to Eclipse, and then back to Tesseract. He and most of his clanmates insist that Saviors is a completely different clan from Tesseract. It wasn't meant to be a replacement, but a complete fresh start. Iced also made it clear to me that he was aware of some of the controversies the clan had in the past, but he has already tried to take steps to prevent them from happening again. New members who wanted to continue being toxic and sending inappropriate messages are now being banned, and Iced truly does want a fresh start. Either way, the Saviors have technically survived for over a year now and are actively rebuilding. They are still spamming chat and still recruiting as much as possible. But maybe this time, it'll be different.